Hello, hi, Assalamualaikum everyone. So this is Miss Naziha. As usual, let's begin our class for today with Ummul Kitab Al-Fatihah. Okay, so today we are going to learn hardcore and layer method. We are still in chapter 3. Okay, so let's proceed with the next slide. Okay, another way in order for us to do the valuation for freehold, we can use the term and reversion. Remember the term and reversion where you got the term and also the reversion part. But for hardcore and layer method, this is how you do it. See the difference in the diagram? Okay, if you are doing the term and reversion, this should be like this. So the term 1, term 2, and also reversion. However, because we are doing the hardcore and layer, so instead of cutting the cake, okay, into pieces like term, first term, second term, and reversion, we are doing the hardcore and layer method, so layer by layer. So the bottom layer, okay, or the hardcore layer, so second one would be the first layer. And of course lah, the top one would be the top layer. Okay, so let's have a look at the example. Okay, so example, 2 years ago, Noah let his shop to a lessee. Okay, then what happened is the lease is supposed to be for 12 years, whereby the first 6 years, the rental would be 2,500 per month, and the other 6 years, the rental would be 2,800 per month net. Okay, meanwhile, the rental value would be 3,200 per month net. So in this case, we must make sure that the rental should be per annum basis and the rental should be net. In the question given, it is in monthly basis. So what we must do is now we need to multiply it by 12 in order to make it in per annum. Okay, so 2,500. Okay, if you times by 12, you will get 30,000. 2,800 times by 12, you will get 33,600. And of course, the top or the highest one will be the rental value. Okay, so the rental value is 3,200 times by 12, and you will get the answer of 38,400. Okay, so that will be for the rental. Okay, next we'll have to look at the years. Okay, so for the years, we must make sure that here will be 0 because we are doing the valuation now. Okay, right. This question says that 2 years ago. Okay, so we put here at the bottom here -2. -2 because 2 years has passed. Okay, so it is supposed to be the first 6 years and then another 6 years. Okay, and then after 12 years, then it will go back to the reversion. Remember? So in this case, because we are doing the layer method, okay, so because we want to put it here as 0, so 10, why is the answer 10? Because 12 minus by 2, then the unexpired term would be 10 years. So 6 minus by 2, so here would be 4 years. Okay, so the years here will be 0, 4, and also 10. Okay, so now another thing about hardcore and layer method is that this is method only suitable for freehold, not leasehold. Why? Because leasehold has a certain time for lease. Okay, but for freehold, since that the ownership is for perpetuity, so here would be, if you notice, there would no line here because this layer is for perpetuity. So the first layer will also be for perpetuity and top layer also will be for perpetuity. Okay, so this would be the diagram for the hardcore and layer method. So basically in hardcore and layer method, there will be 2 steps involved. The first step, you have to determine the marginal yield, and the second step, we are going to use that marginal yield in the valuation. Okay, so let's go to the first step. Okay, remember the formula of yield. So the general formula of yield is basically rental divided by capital value times by 100. So that would be a basic formula for yield. So if you add the word marginal here, okay, so basically it means margin. Okay, so marginal yield, the formula would be marginal rental divided by marginal capital value times by 100. Okay. So when we talk about marginal or margin, okay, so marginal rent, okay, how do you calculate that? It is by using this formula. So the highest rental would be the rental value minus the lowest rental. So the lowest rental in the diagram would be the rent received. So in the question, the rental value is 38,400. Meanwhile, the rent received is 30,000. So you will get the marginal rent. So the marginal rent would be 8,400. So that would be the marginal rent. Okay. Now we need to calculate the marginal yield. Okay. So for marginal capital value, okay, first thing that you have to remember is that we are going to calculate the margin of the capital value. The margin of capital value of the highest and minus the lowest. Okay, since the highest of rent would be the rental value, so we put it here 38,400. And then we are going to multiply by years purchase in perpetuity at 6%. Okay, why 6%? Because in the question, it is given that the ARY is 6%. Remember, when we use rental value, we need to use the all risk yield in this calculation. Okay, so rental value times by the YP in perpetuity. Okay, and then you will get the answer here. Okay, if you can't remember what is the formula for YP in perpetuity, it is basically 1 divided by I. So 1 divided by 0.06 and you will get the answer of 16.6667. Remember, only 4 decimal place here. Okay, so this one times by this one and you will get the answer here is 640,000. Okay, so this would be the capital value for the highest rent. That would be the marginal capital value for this rental value, kan? Right? So now we are going to less the marginal capital value at the top, at the bottom. Okay, just now we're doing at the top. Now we're doing the marginal capital value for the bottom one. Right. So the bottom one would be the rent received. So in the question, it is given that the rent received, okay, is 30,000. Okay, so once we use the rent received, remember we have to minus 1 from ARY. So since the ARY is 6%, so we have to make it 5% when we are doing this calculation. So YP in perpetuity at 5% is 1 divided by 0.05. So that's why you get 20 here. Okay, so 30,000 times by 20, you will get 600 ringgit Malaysia, 600,000 ringgit Malaysia. Okay, so now we are calculating the marginal capital value, the margin, remember? So you don't add these two. Instead, since we are calculating the margin, we need to deduct. So we need to find what's the margin. So the margin here would be 40,000 ringgit Malaysia. Okay, so we got here the marginal rent. Here we got the marginal capital value. So then we can use or we can determine the marginal yield. Okay, so for marginal yield, the formula for yield is rental divided by capital value times by 100. So this is the rental divided by capital. So once you add the marginal here, so rental we need to add also marginal, capital value also we need to add the both marginal. So marginal rental divided by marginal capital value times by 100. Why? Don't forget to times by 100 because yield must be in the form of percentage. So that's why we are going to times by 100. So we have determined earlier that the marginal rental is 8,400 So divided by RM 40,000, because we determined earlier that the marginal capital value is 40,000, and we have to times by 100. So we will get the answer for marginal yield, that will be 21%. Okay, since that we get this marginal yield 25%, we need to remember this formula of YP reversion before we proceed with the valuation. Why? Because in the Paris valuation investment table, okay, the yield that been used in the book is only 16 until 16%. Okay, so because we have this marginal yield is more than 16%, that is why we cannot use the book. Okay, so instead we are going to use this formula. The formula of YP reversion to perpetuity is as below. Okay, so 1 divided by I, A. So 1 divided by I would be the yield, in this case the marginal yield, okay, times by A. A would be the compounding interest or the formula of 1 ringgit. Okay, the formula of amount of 1 ringgit and formula of A. Okay, so the formula of A is 1 plus I to the power of N. So here would be 1 plus I would be the same as I here, the marginal yield, and then power of N would be the number of years. What would be the deferred numbers of years, okay, in order to calculate the valuation later on. Okay, so remember, if it is the marginal yield is more than 16%, we need to use this formula to proceed with the valuation. If, however, you find that the marginal yield is like 12% or 11%, please don't waste time by using the formula. Instead, you can just straight away use your Paris valuation table and get the answer. That would save a lot of time. Okay, but since that the marginal yield here is more than 16%, that is why we need to use this formula. Okay. Okay, since we have already done the step number 1, that would be we have already determined the marginal yield, then we can proceed with step number 2. That would be to proceed with the valuation of hardcore and layer method. Okay, so the valuation of hardcore and layer method would be in this form. Okay, first we have this diagram here to help us, okay, to do the valuation. Okay, right, so we will proceed with the first one would be the bottom layer, okay, or the hardcore one. Okay, since this one here is the rent received, so RM 30,000 here, we put here as rent received, RM 30,000, and then as you can see, this one here, this layer started here. Okay, since it is started here, so then we can just proceed with the YP in perpetuity. Okay, so remember, because this is the rent received, the yield that we are going to use will be lower than the ARY. Since the question has given us that the ARY is 6%, so the yield that we are going to use here would be 5%. Okay, so the formula of YP in perpetuity is 1 divided by I. So 1 divided by 0.05. So that's why you got here 20. Okay, so rent received times by the YP in perpetuity, and then you will get 600,000. Okay, so that will be the capital value for the first layer. Okay, not the first layer, sorry, the bottom layer. Okay, or the hardcore layer lah. Okay, so next we are going to proceed with the first layer here. Okay, since that this is what we call as the marginal rent, okay, here from this 33,600 minus by 30, so that's why this is the marginal rent. So this is marginal rent. Okay, so we get 3,600. Okay, so basically 3,600 here is this one. Yes. Okay, since we are using this marginal rent, we cannot use the yield like 5% or -4. No. Instead, because we're using marginal rent here, so we need to use the marginal yield. So we have calculated earlier that the marginal yield would be 21%. Okay, so we are going to use the YP in perpetuity, since it is forever, okay, at 21% because we are using marginal yield, deferred, okay, deferred for 4 years. Deferred here basically means why? Because this box here for the first layer started here. So there will be a PV. There is an arrow here. Okay. So once it has a PV, because the box we only started at 4 years, we need to bring it here because we are doing the valuation here. Okay. Since we are doing the valuation here at 0, okay, now, so that's why we need to have the PV. So it's PV for 4 years. Okay, so then you will get the answer 2.2215. Okay, how you got this? By using the formula of YP reversion to perpetuity. That will be 1 divided by IA. Okay, please do not use the wrong formula. Okay, right. So once you got the answer here, then you will get then you need to multiply 3,600, and you will get the answer for the capital value for first layer. That will be RM 7,900 and also 97. Okay, so that will be the first layer. Right, so moving on to the top layer here. Okay, so the top layer, again, we are using this layer only, this portion only for the rent. Okay, so the rent here would be, the marginal rent here would be 4,800. Okay, how is this? Because we are doing this 38,400 minus by 33,600. So that's why we got here 4,800. Okay, again, because we are using the marginal rent here, we need to use the marginal yield. We have calculated that earlier, marginal yield is 21%. So we're using YP in perpetuity at 21%. However, remember, deferred for 10 years. Why deferred for 10 years? Because here, this box at the top layer started here after 10 years. Okay, so since the box started here, and there's an arrow of PV, remember? So if the box started after 10 years, we need to bring it back. We need to present value it for today. Okay, because we're doing the valuations today. Okay, so that is why deferred for 10 years. Okay, so again, using the formula of 1 divided by IA, so we got 0.077078. Okay, right. So now marginal rent times by YP, and then you will get the answer for capital value of the top layer. Okay, then you will get 3,398 ringgit. Okay, in order to determine the capital value of this freehold interest, you need to total up the capital value from the bottom until the top layer. So from the bottom layer plus the first layer plus the top layer, and then you will get the answer, the capital value. Okay, so the capital value for this freehold interest is 600,000 11 oh my god, 611,395. Okay, so remember, you need to round it up to the nearest thousand, so that would be 611,000. Okay. Okay, to show that you fully understand the hardcore and layer method valuation, now please answer question number 1 and also question number 2 for tutorial. Okay. So question number 1 would be a lessor lets his property for 10 years. Okay, so the first 5 years would be 15,000 per annum. And then the second 5 years would be 80,000 per annum. However, the lessee further sublet his interest for another 5 years at the rental of 18,000. Okay, so the rental value is 22,000 per annum, and the ARY is 8%. So you are using the hardcore and layer method to value the capital value of the freeholder or the owner. Okay. Okay, once you've done question number one, you will also have to answer question number two. This question number two is a bit straightforward. I think we have learned previously in our previous video on how to value the freehold interest using term and reversion. However, now instead of using the term and reversion, please proceed this question by using the hardcore and layer method. Okay, so remember to submit the answer for your tutorial to me so that I can only check it and then make sure that you understand it. Okay, so any questions for this lecture or this lesson, you can just proceed ask or discuss during our discussions later on. Okay, so all the best and good luck.